Hello there, my name is Ernest. Many thanks for joining us. Now, in our very first story, 4 people narrowly escaped death when the vehicle transporting them was washed away by floodwaters in a storm drain in Ho, the Volta regional capital. It took the timely intervention of onlookers to swiftly rescue them from the vehicle, which landed on its side in the storm drain. Eyewitness accounts suggest the Hohoi-bound driver ignored all dangers and attempted driving through the floodwaters. Fred Kwame has more in the following report.
The rains, which started in the late afternoon of Thursday and lasted for about 3 hours, left major storm drains flooded in Ho. There was a near fatality when a hiring vehicle was washed away by the floodwater off the Ola Central Market Road. A timely intervention by onlookers led to the evacuation of occupants of the vehicle, which had landed on its side in the storm drain. Felicia Dekpo is an eyewitness.
Dollar, capi lady doleme, driver to, but lady held back and to force it open door. Kaka driver ya like chime matanga to, capi get the chime kakala, capi force ya overdo. Driver play a lady.
Fortunately, the occupants did not sustain severe injuries. A team from the Volta Regional Fire Service Post was at the scene to remove the damaged vehicle from the storm drain.
When we got here, people were able to assist them by removing the people out of the vehicle. But the vehicle itself could not be removed because it was in the ditch. So we have to call our towing vehicle to assist, to ensure that we pick it from where it was. Of course, though there had been a damage to the vehicle, we didn't want further damage. So it took us about an hour to be able to strategize and then move the vehicle out of the place safely. So
this section of the road is noted for perennial flooding, as the culvert is too small to contain large volumes of running water.
Ghana, the original bendene joafi ejo gbelo ejo tare no ba po bonami lo
kelele bonami nu kelele mejo po le ho la siga me moji po kaka egbeto ya me ya poka egbeto ya me ya pokra tami debi de kuku de minister de ba po nu ke bonami gota me ayo gbesi egbela gota la efude eti divire ya jako gota yo eti divire ya jako gota yo o mo yare kan o mo gbo mo ta o jawagbare MC ele ba po bonami.
The Home Municipal Chief Executive, Prosper P. Bansa, who visited the scene, promised to take immediate actions on reconstructing the culvert.
This bridge, in fact, it cannot longer accommodate the volume of water which is passing through it, and we will have to do something about it. Currently, there is a hydrologist in town, but that job is not a priority, but they've awarded it. They are working on the drain from the Municipal Hospital Road to the Tasso. In fact, when they came to me yesterday, I complained bitterly that this bridge, the Amegashi Bridge, is the most prime area where they have to look at before. But I will send this information to the Volta Regional Minister, and we'll come and look at it and draw the Ministry of Works and Housing's attention to it.
Fred Kwame, JoyNews, Ho.
Let's go live to Ho now and speak to Fred Kwame, who brought us this report. Fred, let me start first by asking you to give us a quick translation of what the residents there told you in that report.
Well, basically what they were saying was that the area is noted for a perennial flood. Anytime it rains, the place gets flooded. So what their suggestion is that they want the whole municipal assembly, and for that matter, the government to reconstruct the culvert there so that anytime it rains, there will be enough space under the culvert to contain any amount of floodwater, so that there wouldn't be floods in the area, even if the smallest amount of rainfall. So what they are suggesting is that they want government to expand the culvert there to make room for floodwater to pass beneath the culvert and not flood over the roads and cause misfortune.
What is the situation this morning in Ho, especially from this particular area where we had the incident?
Everything is calm. The floodwaters, as cleared off the road, so there's free flow of traffic. Actually, the place was cleared even yesterday in the evening. So just after some few hours after the rain stopped, the place was okay for vehicles to use the road. So as we speak now, there is free flow of traffic. There's no flood at that section of the road.
Let's look at the situation also in the region. You brought us the story of Ho, but what is happening elsewhere? And once we are in the rainy season, I'm sure there are a few more areas, and especially residents who are worried that they could see what they've been seeing over the years with a lot of flood and its attendant effect on them and the activities.
In Ho per se, I should say that major drains got flooded during the downpour yesterday. There's another area which is called Leposeyo. Also, that section as well got flooded. But then the damage wasn't that severe. I should say previously, anytime it rains and the flood in the area, it rushes into the homes of people. But then yesterday's own. This was the only misfortune that happened, or the only misfortune that happened was along the Olashinya High School whole market stretch of road. But then in other parts of the region, I should say that there was no severe damage caused by the flood.
Do you know of any preparation by the assembly, for instance, as before the rain setting? Because in Kumasi we know that the KMA underwent some exercises. They silted the gutters and made sure that they were ready for the rains. Did you see anything of the sort in Ho?
Well, there was nothing of that sort here in the Ho municipality. But then what happened was that, just like it was done in other parts of the region due to the coronavirus and stuff, when the market was closed down, the areas of the whole central market was cleared of debris and stuff like that. But then the clearing of main drains in the capital of the Volta region, nothing like that was done. So I spoke to the MC, and what he told me was that they've awarded contract for the reconstruction of one of the drains in the town, that is the one around Tasso. It's also a major drain in Ho. But then he thinks that that project is not a priority project at the moment. They should have channeled that fund to reconstruct the one that got flooded yesterday, that is off the Ho Ula Highway. He was thinking that should have been the best project, that should have been the best project the fund should be used for. But then he also mentioned that he would call the attention of the regional minister. They would come and look at the situation, monitor, and then see what they can do about the road to ensure that anytime it's raining and there is flood, it doesn't cause life and property.
Fred, thank you very much for bringing us some more information on the situation in Ho and indeed in the Volta region. As the rain sets in, a lot of these issues are bound to happen. We'll be following them closely.